I went from being in a situationship to being his fiance. And I want to share the story because I used to be that girl who deeply believed that love wasn't meant for her. I felt like a healthy relationship just wasn't the cards for me. And looking back, it's so sad, but I kind of had given up on love. And so if you are in a similar headspace where you believe it's not going to happen for you, or you're unlucky in love, you're in a relationship that doesn't make you happy, like whatever your case is, I just want you to hear this story because if it happened for me, it can happen for you. And also, we did start off as a situationship. And this is not to say that every single situationship will evolve into an engagement and marriage, but I also want to be real about what it takes if you want to, go down that route. And so we first met in 2021 at the beginning of the year on a dating app because that's just the day and age that we live in. And we were just instantly clicking and texting all day long and sending like big ass paragraphs. And we opened up to each other pretty fast. And so he shared with me that he had just recently gone through a breakup and had come out of a very long-term relationship. And I was in a place where I felt like, oh my God, love has fucked me over so hard. I'm not sure if I can ever fall in love again. And at the same time, there was a part of me that wanted to fall in love. I never wanted to be something casual. That was not what I was looking for. And so I felt like, okay, I'm not going to meet a guy who clearly can't be looking for a relationship because he just got out of one. And if he is looking for that, well, it's cringe. I'm going to just end up being a weird rebound, and that was not my vibe. So he did ask me out a couple of times, and I kept saying no because I was like, there's no point in us meeting because I don't want to be casual and I want to, meet people intentionally. And I gotta say, I was on that dating app for 3 days and he was the only person I met. And then I deleted the app because I felt like it's just not what I'm looking for. But we continued to text and we continued to do that for months. And then eventually you reach that point where it's like, it doesn't even make sense to continue to text because we won't meet because I didn't want to. And so we stopped texting, and then one of us would text again like a couple of days or weeks later. And so it was this back and forth, on and off, purely texting. Never seen this guy in my life. And he was a complete stranger. But every single time I was just living my life, I was either out with my girlfriends having drinks, or I was contemplating my life, when I was feeling lonely, like all the typical things, I instantly thought about him and I reached out to him or he reached out to me. And we kind of did this thing for almost a year because we met at the beginning of the year, and then in December of 2021, we accidentally ran into each other at a club. And I mean, it was COVID time, so clubs weren't really open that much. I barely went out anyway. And so it's crazy to think that I never wanted to see him, and we were texting for almost a year, which is already insane. And then we ran into each other. And what happened when we first met in real life, randomly, wasn't planned. I'm going to share that in the next part, so stay tuned.